Savage gunman.
We have to fund our police. You know, we've gotten, for crying out loud, they actually had people who are defunding the police. You go to Oregon right now, I went and it's
Real talk, no filter on Savaged Unfiltered. Savaged.
Alrighty, guys, welcome on into Savage Unfiltered. Joining you live here on the X platform. So thank you very much for dropping by. Make sure you hit that share button. And if you'd like to join in the conversation, guys, leave those comments in as we will plug them in during the broadcast. Remember, guys, this is live here on X, so you're getting the first mitts or the mist of the show, so to speak, of this episode. Give us about a day as this will air on our Spotify and iHeart and all our audio platforms tomorrow afternoon. So you're getting a little treat here. But Joe, where to start? You know, we do have a guest in the green room. I'm going to bring her in momentarily, but I want to start with this charade of a circus last night with the debate. Thoughts, buddy?
Well, first,
what the hell happened?
Yeah, it'll air tomorrow. So tomorrow, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
Spotify's a day away. Anyway.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rid of that lame humor, Joe.
Yeah, you know me. You open up a door, I got to walk through it with
I know. You walk through the damn door all the time. But get to the point.
Yeah, we will be discussing the debate, which was indeed very disgusting. I've already said on social media, Donald J. Trump could have had a parrot stand in for him and repeat over and over, Polly want a cracker, Polly want a cracker.
Absolutely.
And post-debate, we would have still been able to say Donald J. Trump won because it was a metaphor, an analogy. Polly wants a cracker. Everybody wants to buy crackers. They can't afford them under Biden's economy. And Biden, the stiff, proved all those supposed cheap fakes are real.
Yeah. What's up with Karine Jean-Pierre, right? The press secretary there, the administration, constantly saying, you're seeing a lot of deep fakes on the internet. Well, we didn't see deep fakes last night, Miss Pierre. We seen an incompetent president right around minute 13. And I like how Fox was covering this, Newsmax, just last night in the literally the post show right afterwards, right? Literally going right into minute 13. That's when Biden went right off the rails on the roller coaster. Right off, man.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy.
So they're gaming this by the questions. They're keeping it on abortion.
Do you support any legal limits on how?
See, the control is abortion. They're keeping it in that debate.
I support Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time
not
between
World War III, not open borders.
The second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor. Between the
and what about the Justice Department, the censorship?
The politicians.
Where's that? Trump's just bringing it up.
To be the ones
they're controlling it by the questions.
It's ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run.
Oh, like Virginia.
And he failed everything. Yeah.
I'm doing my Biden.
Oh, I thought you froze there for a minute.
No,
okay. Yeah. Well, you've seen a lot of that last night.
Yeah, exactly. And the staring off into space. The camera's over there, you fucking retard. Not up over. Who are you looking for? Hand signals from somebody? Oh my God!
Well,
seriously,
that's why I like bringing you on, Joe. Because we deliver unfiltered politics, and yes, we do cuss from time to time, but we're showing true passion and true concern for our nation right now, Joe and I, and we do it from time to time on this show. But last night was, oh my God, man, he was regurgitating everything Trump was saying, and then I like how he goes like this. Every time Trump makes a point, Biden goes like this into his little caricature of a look.
Yeah. And let me be clear full disclosure, 60 minutes in, I tuned out. It was over. It was done. So I only saw a snippet of
It's
the
not even
golf
senior.
exchange.
2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm in very good shape. I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter.
Savage.
I want to go further, but I do want to bring in, guys, our featured guest here, former Nevada Senator Elizabeth Helgelien. Welcome into the show. How are you, ma'am?
Thanks so much for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So thoughts on we're going to start with this debate, and then I'd like to get into some of your political background too, as you know, as you are a former senator there of Nevada. What'd you think of the debate last night?
Man, that was such a disaster. I don't think it could have gone any worse. I don't know what he was prepping for over a week at Camp David, but that was absolutely insane. It's actually very scary what happened, because this is a person that's actually in charge of the free world. It's insane to me that people actually went and voted for Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's a little scary that, you know, this man does have the codes to our nuclear power here in the United States, right? So you go to question his motives if it ever came down to that. Obviously, folks, you know, you've seen it last night. You've seen his performance, Elizabeth. The Democrats are literally in panic mode right now as they're trying to scramble just excuses. I think I heard from one of the wasn't a senior advisor, but one of the assistant advisors in his campaign and his administration that Joe Biden had a cold. He was battling a cold or an influenza thing.
Yeah. Like, okay, we all understand, or most of us with common sense understand that Joe Biden is very sick. I don't think it had anything to do with the cold. So for them to even, it just shows you how desperate they really are to cover up for Joe Biden. It's very scary that they're putting us at risk. We have people all over the world who have said it time and time again. We know President Trump, America needs President Trump. The world knows that the world needs President Trump. He's the only choice in November.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to touch on that minute 13 as you were hearing Joe and I kind of prep into the show here with basically Joe Biden going right off the rails, right around minute 13. Do you think that was a key issue for Biden to basically take the W for the debate last night?
You know, it's hard to even understand or pinpoint really what his winning point was. He didn't make any sense at all. I don't think anybody understood what he said. President Trump did a great job when he went after President Biden, and not even went after him, just responded and said he didn't understand what Biden said. He didn't even think that Joe Biden understood what he said. I don't think anybody understood what Joe Biden said. It was a disaster. I'll say it time and time again. That was so scary that we just witnessed it. Now, a lot of us have known since day one, Joe Biden should not be in the White House. I think it has gotten so bad. They knew this was going to happen, but they had no other choice. President Trump called him on his bluff and said, let's debate.
Yeah, that was the Reagan Mondale moment. Remember Reagan? I will not exploit for political purposes the youth and inexperience of my opponent. And everybody cracked up. That was funny. This line was, I don't know what he said. He doesn't know what he says. That was the gotcha line that was the Reagan line, the Trump line in this. And nobody laughed. Everybody cringed. Speaking of cringe John Pierre, as I call her, it's like, oh my God. Gavin Newsom was on CNN post-debate saying, well, you don't, because he was asked, do we need to replace Biden?
You were out there getting a chorus of questions about whether Biden should step down. There is panic that has set in. There is panic that has set in among people who have watched this debate, who are Democrats, people who are strategists, and some even inside Democratic campaigns. Yeah. Do you think it's unfounded?
Well, I think it's unhelpful, and I think it's unnecessary. We've got to go in and got to keep our heads high. And as I say, we've got to have the back of this president. You don't turn your back because of one performance. What kind of party does that? It's been a masterclass. 15.6 million jobs. That's 8 times more than the last 3 Republican presidents combined. The only thing the last 3 Republican presidents have in common is recessions. Democrats deliver. This president has delivered. We need to deliver for him at this moment. With all due respect, the more time we start...
Savage
on the ticket. And he says, well, you don't judge a person based on one incident. Excuse me? Gruesome? This is now number 1,375,998 incident of Joe dementia patient Biden doing what he did. Everyone has seen it for themselves a million times now. This isn't one time.
Absolutely, that's so true. We know this has been repeated over and over and over throughout Joe Biden's presidency. This is exactly the behavior most of us have seen. This is actually just the first time that the press, and I think it was planned, the first time that they actually had to admit it because the whole world saw it. They could not just sweep this under the rug. Joe Biden, he should not be anywhere. I said it last night. I think they should have sent the moving truck to the White House, picked up his things, and got it out of there last night, because this is scary. Not just Americans saw that debate. All over the world, people had watched that debate. This is a national security issue at this point.
Yeah, and Anderson Cooper, of course, since he's in the tank for the fascocrats, didn't give the obvious follow-up question. Oh, the Nixon excuse? Nixon had the flu in the Kennedy debate. That's why he was sweating and looked so ill. He was ill. He had a cold? Okay, I'll give you that one. What is the excuse? The dozen times he's fallen up the stairs of Air Force One. Was he on Benadryl the day he fell over on his bicycle? What are the other excuses?
Hey, Joe, I have to weigh in here. You know, this is the excuses now that you're going to see from basically now through November. You're going to see, you know, some circulation of rumors coming in with the excuses, right? People are going to say, well, you know, what's their next approach? What's their next motive for Joe Biden? Is this the opportunity that they're going to use for these 2 debates to basically fade out Joe Biden and bring in possibly a rumor to be Gavin Newsom? I'm seeing that all over social media. Gavin Newsom will be the replacement for Biden. Do you see that at all or no?
Who you asking?
I'm asking anyone.
The night. Oops, I see you're talking, but I didn't hear you. So I think, of course, we've heard the names Gavin Newsom, Hillary Clinton. We've heard Michelle Obama. Those are the names. And I'll say it again, this is exactly the plan that they had in place. They knew it got to the point where they could not hide Joe Biden anymore from the public. They couldn't make excuses for them. I mean, they went as far as saying that these were, they actually the Republicans created these problems and were just playing around with film. They could not do that here. So now, does Joe Biden have to drop out in order for somebody else to get in? Yes. Of course, we know that the Democrats don't play by the rule book, so anything is possible. But Gavin Newsom was more than happy to chime in with his 2 cents from last night.
Yeah,
Michael.
I see,
Savage.
You know,
on Spotify.
I see it, but a lot of
DC is full of talkers. They promise us a better economy, They promise to keep us safe. They promise to fight radical liberalism.
I'm Elizabeth Helgelien, and I'm done with empty promises. It's time to walk the walk.
In the Nevada Senate, she protected the Second Amendment. She made it easier for you to open and run your business in Nevada. The American Conservative Union gave her a 100% conservative voting record, the highest rating possible.
They say you can't change DC. Well, they also called me the unlikely senator. Let's go.
Elizabeth Helgelien, a real conservative for Congress.
But a lot of people were playing that card where, okay, how's CNN going to play it off? How's CNN going to show that fair and honest type of moderating, right? And I applaud Tapper. I thought Tapper was going to be very unfair to President Trump. And he showed a lot of fairness. So I do have to commend him for that. I have to commend the network of CNN for actually holding a very well put together debate. A little different from 2020, obviously, guys. But I commend him for that. I really do. Guys, you're listening to myself here, Joseph M. Leonard, and former Senator of Nevada, Elizabeth Helgelien, here on the show. Before we get any further, guys, I want to say thank you to Liquid IV. That's right, guys. This is literally hydration for any occasion. With Liquid IV, guys, they are known for about 3 times the electrolytes than any other leading sports drink here in America. Throw all that high sugary drinks out the window. Your Gatorade, your Powerade, throw it out the window, guys. Grab Liquid IV, scan the QR code today, guys, and you're going to be amazed by some of their products. Also want to thank another great sponsor here, Blackout Coffee. That's right. Blackout Coffee, guys. Coffee for America's Warriors. That's right, guys. An exclusive sponsor here on the show. Use promo code SAVAGED for 15% off your order today. And check out their many patriotic products, such as Brutal Awakening. I'm so excited, Shaky. I'm slurring my words. Brutal Awakening, 2A Guns and Gadgets. A lot of great stuff, guys. Scan the QR code today, and you're going to be amazed. Back to the show. So, Joe, I want to go to you first. With the debate last night, I just mentioned Tapper showing fair and honesty to the debate. Were your expectations the same as mine, that he would show that, or were you kind of going in that scenario that they were going to bring in that 2020 debate playbook again?
Yeah, I expected. They surprised me, and I was pleasantly surprised with Tapper and what's her face? I don't remember. Dana Bash. I expected a 3-on-1 debate, and in a way, it was based on the questions and the order they asked them. I have no doubt Joe Biden was given the questions in advance, like Donna Brazile gave them to Hillary in the past. But I say RFK Jr. won the debate by not being there. And why I say that is because obviously, Democrats that had questions about Biden, and now even more Democrats are going to say, I've got to vote RFK Jr. There's no way I can vote for Biden anymore. And people with TDS already didn't want to vote for Trump. And like I said, Trump could have been better. And I tuned it out, so I didn't see the Gulf Exchange live. I've seen a clip. Trump blew it. He blew it.
Without a doubt. Oh, wait, Trump blew it?
Michael
How did Trump blow it?
Reaching highs on Spotify.
Go ahead.
On that,
but you got me all like funneled here for a minute.
On that exchange, again, I don't know how it started, but when him a 6 handicap, he should have said, Joe, this isn't about golf, GOLF. This is about people with a VW GULF can't afford to put gas in their tank. But the way Trump then turned it into a golf discussion further, showed to some he's aloof. He ruined his "I'm a man of the people" despite being a billionaire image.
The analysis, Joe, let me step in real quick because I want to get Elizabeth's take on this. The analysis that was coming in was basically saying that the only mistakes that Trump did make, they're giving him an 8 out of a 10. Pretty much a scorecard in that aspect.
I'll give him a 7 to 10.
No, it was an 8 out of 10. That's the latest scorecard coming out of the debate last night. 8 out of 10 going to Trump. But the only two mistakes that Trump really made, in my personal opinion, as much as anchors are feeling the same way on a lot of networks, was he was basically pushing too much immigration. Yes, we have immigration issues, but he was pushing it left and right. Yes, we understand that Joe Biden has an open border. Yes, we understand that he's not tackling immigration correctly. Yes, we understand all that. We understand the high amounts of illegals right now in New York City. We understand that, Mr. President. Donald Trump, I'm referring to. But I think that was the mistake that he was making. He was pressing it way too hard. What's your thoughts on that, Elizabeth?
I'll have to disagree. The number one issue that my constituents talked about throughout the campaign in my district, in my state, and across the country, of everybody that I talked to, the number one issue is the border. I think President Trump was spot on. I think he did a 10 out of 10 job at the debate. I think he was incredible. I think he was very presidential. He's absolutely the right man for the job. I think his golf argument was actually funny. I think a lot of people, and that's what people love about President Trump. He's one of us. He's the people. And I thought it was great that he gave that little jab over to Joe Biden. I mean, honestly, the man, Joe Biden, could not even walk 50 yards without getting lost, let alone hit a golf ball. So I think it was a great job. I think it was a great jab. I think President Trump did a great job. I think he could have hit harder on the border because a border is not just closing the border. It's not just people coming over. It's not just illegal aliens coming over. It's people from all around the world. We know the Democrats even admitted they know that terrorists are coming across the border. Women, children, and people are being trafficked. They're being raped. Americans are being raped, and people are having to protect themselves, of course, and they always should be. But we cannot even rely on our police, on the government to protect us, because the Democrats have done such a horrible job with our police. They've worked to defund the police instead of defending the police. The Democrats are wrong on all of these issues. And so, number one, I think President Trump did a great job and should have driven it home more about the border being closed, because it goes back to our economy. It goes back to safety and security. It goes to human trafficking. It goes to fentanyl. I can't tell you, there's a countless amount of people who have buried family members because of fentanyl. So these are real world issues affecting people today. That absolutely is something that he should have talked about more. Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed on your website, some of your issues that you're running on, I noticed that you basically quoted something from Ronald Reagan. Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem. So how do we fix that? With your political expertise now as a former senator, in the political sphere, Elizabeth, how do we eliminate the issues that we're seeing up in Washington? So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get people to turn out and vote against all of these people. It's horrific. It's not just Democrats, by the way. There's weak Republicans who have gotten us into this mess. There's Democrats and Republicans who have gotten our spending out of control. There is no way possible we should be spending the amount of money that we're spending. So we've got to show up to vote at the polls. Do not vote for these people who have been in office forever. Of course, we need to push for term limits. That's one of the first things that I did when I announced I was running for Congress, was sign the term limits pledge. We actually need to get these things done. Stop spending money, stop printing money, and get out of the way of American people so we can grow our economy and thrive. That's the biggest thing that we could be doing.
Yeah. Let's talk about the border here, since we're on that. Because I don't want to discuss any more about the debate, guys. I think you seen what you seen last night on CNN. What you seen up in Atlanta was literally it was a debate to show you what Joe Biden truly is as a character. That's just my personal opinion. But I want to focus on a little bit of your vision for America, because we have you on the show today, and that was one of my questions for you. I'm looking at a lot of issues that you still run on, the economy, the inflation, drugs, crime, which are at historic highs, secure the border, illegal immigration, putting America first, national security. I mean, you're running on a lot of stuff, Elizabeth, and I applaud and commend the hell out of you for doing it. Let's talk a little bit about the crime here in America, and then kind of piggyback into the illegal immigration. How do we fix that, Elizabeth?
Well, we have to fund our police. We've gotten, for crying out loud, they actually had people who are defunding the police. You go to Oregon right now, I went, and it's horrible. They actually have chain link fences around their buildings because it's so bad. Why don't they just create laws? Actually, there's a lot of laws in place already. Why don't they just follow the laws and make sure that they get those people into jail where they belong and stop releasing them immediately? That's a top issue that we could be doing. We need to be supporting our police officers, giving them the tools that they need, and get rid of all of the corruption. We have so much corruption from the top all the way down. So we've got to make sure
Savaged.
protect our police, that we can grow our police. Right now, why would anybody want to sign up and be a police officer when they're being attacked? Our own government is going after them. So that's something that we could be doing. We absolutely should be arming ourselves. Go out and buy your ammunition. Go out and buy more guns. We have to be defending ourselves, because right now the police department has so few members, and a lot of them in a lot of states, their hands are tied because of the government. They want to control the people, and we cannot let that happen. So
yeah,
crime has gotten so rampant. It's horrible here in Nevada. I can't even imagine living in a border state. I know we're all border states now, but
if I may chime in real quick, I noticed that was one of your campaign videos going back, several months and now years ago, with the Second Amendment. You ran on that. You put out a tremendous campaign video towards that, and I love how you support that Second Amendment, that 2A, I call it. And we need to see more of that, right? Especially now, today.
Yeah, Mike.
I paused there because I see Joe had something. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, call on me. Call on me. Two things about what Elizabeth said. Well, immigration is the number one issue. If you could see this on video, I'm wearing. You can see the badge. That's a Border Patrol badge with the black ribbon through it. R.I.P. Brian Terry from Michigan, killed by gun running of the Obama administration, the Fast and Furious. He was killed by an Obama gun that the cartel got. So there's that. And second, like Elizabeth is kind of alluded to, this has got to be like the 80 and 84 election, and we need a landslide for Trump. But unlike Reagan, as I discussed on Constitutionalist Politics Show, the learning from Reagan Democrats, we need down ballot help. We must get a 20-member majority in the House. And we must get a majority in the Senate. And you said I got an echo. Let me try changing.
Yeah. We'll go right back to you, Joe. I sometimes it's disturbance, on networks and stuff like that when you cross and screaming.
Test.
Yeah, you're good now, Joe. Go ahead, buddy.
Am I? Okay. I switched back to the Razer headset mic because it wasn't working last time. I had to switch to the laptop mic. But yeah, 80-84, but we need down ballot. We're not going to get a 60-member filibuster-proof majority in the Senate this year or 2 years from now, so the left will still filibuster everything. But unlike during Reagan, there were Democrats willing to work with Reagan. There is not one fascist-crat that will work with Donald Trump as president again. So in order to get things done legislatively, which would be the right way, not illegal executive orders wise, is to get control of the full control of the House and as much control of the Senate as possible. So you've got to pull the GOP ticket ballot. All up down the ticket. We must have everybody.
Yeah.
And then the last
Joe, go ahead. You said there's a last one? Because I wanted to kind of go into something else. Yeah.
The last thing was she brought up the law and order. The Oregon decision just came out today. You may not have seen that on SCOTUS. And I will also be discussing all of this with Rick Walker live tonight, Friday the 28th on Maverick News. I'll be there. But the Oregon decision said, yes, you can clean out them homeless camps. They do not have a right to squat on public lands. You could ticket them, fine them, arrest them if they refuse to vacate.
Wow. I mean, that's a lot you just said, Joe. But I mean, you're on point with that. I want to kind of switch gears here a little bit with a recent thing you posted on your website going back to February, but it is somewhat relevant, Elizabeth, with some of the elections here coming into November. You were calling on Joe Lombardo to commit immediate action to secure the 2024 election. Can you go into a little bit of that, what that was discussed, and if what that conversation was about, Elizabeth?
So in the state of Nevada, it's a lot different than it is in most states, unfortunately. So during COVID, we had a Democrat legislature, Democrat state house, a Democrat state Senate, and the Democrats had the governor's office. So it was a Democrat trifecta here. So they were able to get a lot passed, which is horrible. Of course, we already have early voting here, but they passed that every single person in the state of Nevada is sent a mail-in ballot, whether they requested it or not. So we have early voting, we have vote by mail, everybody's getting a ballot, a paper ballot in the mailbox. Then after 2 weeks of the election, so the election happens, and then people have 2 weeks to send in their ballot after the election. So as long as it's date stamped for election day, we're receiving ballots up to 2 weeks after the election. If you remember last presidential election, the whole country was waiting on Nevada because of these rules. And that's exactly what they're doing now. They've implemented, of course, the machines that we've had voting machines for a while. They have a new system now. And during so what I was talking about and had addressed with Joe Lombardo, our Republican governor, is so we had the presidential election. We called it the presidential primary, and we also had the caucus. Of course, the Democrats wanted us to have a presidential primary because look exactly what happened in other states. They removed President Trump from the ballot. So Republicans here in Nevada, we said, no, we're having a caucus. So unfortunately, we had both, which confused a lot of people. So what happened is we had the presidential primary first. And so everybody, like I said, again, in the state of Nevada was sent a mail-in ballot. Well, there was a glitch, is what they called it, in the system that said Republicans had voted during the presidential primary. No, they didn't. I actually made a video, and it actually was picked up by Fox News later, about the election integrity here. because the Secretary of State's website actually had, like I said, everybody had voted in the presidential primary. I held up my unopened, sealed mail-in ballot and said, no, I did not vote in the presidential primary.
What was their response to that?
Right?
Yeah, what was their response by that? By after you holding up that
the local news here called me crazy. The governor, of course, said it was secure, and so of course I went after them. And finally, I kept making video after video because I had voters, people who were not even in my district, contacting me all over the state. Were contacting me saying that they checked their voter rolls and they said that the Secretary of State, who's by the way a Democrat here, had them listed as voted when they did not vote. So finally, the national news picked it up very slightly. So our Secretary of State's website, or Secretary of State, was forced to say there was a glitch. Now imagine what is going to happen in
imagine what's going to happen in November, Elizabeth. Yep. Right? I mean, exactly. What's going to happen? Right? We just seen a circus show last night. I can imagine what's going to happen during the vice presidential debates if that does happen. I can imagine what the next debate in October is going to look like, right, between Biden and Trump. I mean, people are like, they're scratching their heads because they're worried about a performance of Joe Biden last night with this debate, but they're also going along with Kamala Harris's reaction to it last night was it was just one of those things, but she just literally just put Joe Biden under the bus again for the second time.
How would you describe tonight's debate for President Biden?
Lindsay, I'd say a slow start, but a good and strong finish.
So what is that saying for the Democratic Party? Like, what's that saying for their base? They're losing their own base within their own party, Elizabeth. And you're seeing that clearly every single day.
Absolutely. The fact that there are actually people in the Democrat leadership who think that the people are stupid is horrible. We're not stupid. Democrat voters are not stupid. We're seeing the Democrat leadership has been force feeding lies to the people. The press has helped them force feed lies to the public, and we're calling them out on it. That's why we're seeing so many people like yourself and so many new media going online, going and having their own podcasts. And those people are being successful because we, the people, are calling the press, are calling the liberal Democrat elected officials out on their BS. They're trying to lie to us. They think we're stupid, and we're absolutely not. So they've got another thing coming in November.
You're damn right. Damn right. Like with podcasters such as myself, Dan Bongino here in Florida, Tucker, Rogan. Well, not so much Rogan. I'll give him a little label a little bit. But I mean, people like us, we're challenging the narrative every single day on these networks. Spotify, iHeart, Rumble, X now. Not so much a YouTube because we don't fit their narrative, right? So that's why I don't do the YouTube thing. But we're still challenging it, because if we don't challenge it, Elizabeth, we're looked as extremists. We're looked as conspiracy artists. We're looked at conspiracy theorists, right? I think that's the term, right, Jake? Conspiracy theorists. I mean, when is enough enough? It has to stop. It has to stop. Go ahead, Joe. I think you had something you wanted to.
Yeah, a couple things. Yeah, YouTube is now controlled by Google, so obvious the bias has gotten even worse, not better. Conspiracy realists, right? All those things we talked about 3-4 years ago, proven true. But the left always wants somebody like an Alex Jones to make outlandish other statements that are clearly made up out of whole cloth, because then they get to label things like the Hunter Biden laptop as conspiracy when it's real. Not one, all 51 of those intelligence agency personnel that claimed it Russian disinformation 6 months after the FBI bona fide the laptop as real, should all have their security clearance pulled. They lied. There is no question. They knowingly, purposefully, willfully, and malice of forethought lied. They must have their clearance pulled. And Elizabeth, yeah, I was joking with you in the private chat. Your videos are cheap fakes, but it's a shame Cringe John Peon doesn't call your videos out for cheap fakes, because it would help your election, right? I mean, that would put you on the map at a higher level. That would be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I just want to agree. I mean, everything that you said is true. They call us conspiracy theorists. No, actually, everything we're saying is the truth. And then, of course, they created the fact that they're calling them fact checks now. Well, isn't it interesting that the fact checks are actually the ones who are lying, and they're just being called out on it?
Yeah. I mean, you would think, right? I like to question their mindset sometimes, Elizabeth, with some of their approaches towards the way they speak, right? Like, you ever heard that expression? What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? What's good for their gander is not necessarily good for the goose, so to speak. I kind of put that backwards on purpose, but you do want to challenge it. As we kind of close it out here with you, Elizabeth, what's next for you? You dabbled in the Senate, right? You gained the experience through the people there. They trusted you. They seen your policy, which you run on very, very strong policy, by the way. You do resemble that American First agenda, which I love. What's next for you, Elizabeth?
So we got a lot going on. We were just recently named the National Ambassador for Veterans for America First, Veterans for Trump. So we're very honored. I'm very honored to do that. We have a couple of other things happening here in Nevada that I'll be announcing shortly. I've been so blessed to have so much support across the country. I've had members of Congress reach out to me. So this is just the beginning for us. We were up, in our election, we were up against millions of dollars in the establishment who wanted to stop us from getting elected, because they knew that we held their feet to the fire when I was in the Senate, and we do the same thing. So they were not going to be able to get away with any of this with me in an elected office. So it's just the beginning for us. Like I said, we've got a lot going on, and I'm very excited to see what is happening with President Trump. We need him in the White House. He's going to be great in the White House. We need to get him back in office. The world needs President Trump, and Nevada certainly needs President Trump.
Well, Elizabeth, I wish the best in your future endeavors. I really hope, and I strongly encourage you to continue the fight for the American dream. Continue the fight for positive and healthy American politics. And my best wishes going your way. I mean, the words. I mean, I wish you the best of luck, Elizabeth. Thank you very much for appearing today on the show, and keep on fighting.
Thanks so much, Michael, for having me. I really appreciate it. And Joseph, thanks so much as well. And I will see you in the Twitter world. All
righty. Take it easy. Take it easy.
You won't see me in the Twitter world. I'm still locked out.
Yeah.
Hey, Elon, your system still ain't fucking working.
Yeah. So what did you think of Elizabeth? I mean, she's got some powerful words. I really commend her for what she's doing. I appreciate her decision on running for senator there of Nevada and successfully obtaining that position. I
wish she was running for Congress this cycle. I would definitely donate a little bit to her for that. But like Trump's no tax on tips is a big play.
Well, Joe, I have to correct you. She is running for Congress, buddy.
Oh, this cycle?
Yes.
Okay,
go to her website. It says Elizabeth Helgelien for Congress. I mean, you can go right to her website, buddy.
Well, I'm going to look
right over the head.
Yeah, I'm going to check on WinRed about sending her a donation then.
Yeah.
But the no tax on tips, I disagree with Trump. I don't want to exempt all tips. I think, people that work in higher upper on, like the French Laundry, who might make 6 figures in tips, I'm for excluding the first 50,000 in tips and then pay over that. But yes, your first 50,000 in tips should be yours tax free.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. I want to go into a couple more things here with you, Joe, before we kind of dip out. I want to touch a little bit on the debate last night because, obviously, I mean, it is an important event here in America, guys. It's a debate that's going to grab two sides of the aisles of voters, right? And you're going to see just who truly will represent you as president. I think we have to bring that back in. I hope people understand that these debates should be about principles, not personalities. Okay? And you've seen that come in. If you guys have been paying attention to the debate last night, you've seen a lot of the personalities over the personalities, or the principles over the personalities, vice versa. You've seen that, Joe. If you paid attention to it, there was a lot of that being presented. Now, going into the debate, right, you just mentioned something really, really interesting. If you want to kind of tie it in a little bit more, Joe, go ahead.
Which are you referring to?
Well, we were talking about the personalities, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen that last night heavily presented on the debate.
Yeah, you gave Trump 7 of 10.
I gave him 8 to 10. You gave him 10 to 10.
Yeah, I'm going to revise.
Don't need his coffee, man.
Yeah, I'm going to revise and even give him just down to 6 of 10. But Biden was 0.1 of 10. He gets a 10th of a point for showing up and showing that he's breathing. But that is it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, I want to bring this back into play. Last night, yes, the Democrats were a little concerned on Joe's performance. They were concerned on his talking points, but they're still saying there's nothing wrong with the man.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Savage.
What's wrong with the man? They're not running on the principles, Joe. They're running on the personalities. That is dangerous for our constitutional republic. And that another damn thing that I'm getting fed up with is them labeling it a democracy. It's not a fucking democracy. We're in a constitutional republic. Get it through your head. Yeah. Democracy is what you see in third world or banana republics.
They are lying. Every time they open their mouth, a lie comes out. They spin the numbers. They fudge statistics. But now, like you said, you alluded to that them lying. As Dennis Prager says on his show, truth is not a left-wing value. They have no values, no principles above getting and keeping power, period. That's their only value and principle. Lie, cheat, steal, say anything, do anything, anytime, any place, even if it contradicts something you said 5 minutes ago, doesn't fucking matter. Say anything, because all that matters is power and keeping power.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you clearly seeing. And you've seen it last night, and I'm sure you're going to see it in October because that's probably going to be their game plan then. They're going to try to trigger Trump. And I love how, because it was a script. I mean, shit, Joe probably was given the script. I know he was given the script right before he took the stage. He was given a script to use trigger points towards Trump, right? And he was doing it so horrible last night, right? He was trying to trigger him so bad. And I love how Trump kept his composure, man. Like he wanted to bring the whole 2020 debate, for like round 2 of this presidential boxing match between the two of them, right? He wanted to fire back, but he was like, he did his gestures, right? He smiled. He had to look at Joe every now and then, right? Because he like the words that Elizabeth just said on my show here with I don't even think Joe said or heard or understood what he said, because that's what President Trump said. And I was laughing my ass off, man, when I heard that. I was like, yeah, I don't even think he understood what the hell he just said.
That was the takeaway line of the debate.
Yeah.
That's the headline. And remember when
that's what America sees, Joe. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when Donna Brazile was forced to admit she gave the questions ahead to Hillary? Does anybody not think Tapper and Bash, being on their best behavior, knew they could do that because they gave the questions to Biden in advance? And he still did that bad. Yeah, I'm alleging it happened, and I'm going to stand by it happened. Yeah. And, the other thing is you probably see me taking notes over here.
Yeah, I see that.
As I mentioned, I'm going to be on with Rick tonight live on Maverick News, so I want to make sure I don't forget any of these points for his show.
Well, I hope you could pronounce Elizabeth's name. It took me about 4 or 5 times to get her name correct. I said I promised, and she's probably watching us on the live stream here on X. I'm not gonna butcher the name anymore, Elizabeth, but it is one of those names you have to like slowly memorize, because if you say it too quick, you'll screw it up and you'll butcher the name. And I did promise her I'll get her name correct by Friday's broadcast, and I did. Helgelien, there you go. It took me about 3 or 4 or 5 times. But Rick Walker, I want to touch on that a little bit before we close out. But I got to get a break in, guys. Shaky's screaming me into my headpiece here. He said, "Get those breaks in." Good grief, man. Boozy Coffee, guys. It's just better on this great umbrella of a coffee company. Monkey Colt Coffee Company, guys, managed by CEO, young entrepreneur, Matt Zients, which I had the opportunity and honor of having him on my show going back last month now. So you have to go back in the Savage Unfiltered library to check that out. Got into a lot of his passion behind coffee and how he is infusing these products with liquor products and alcohol products, which I was like, holy. Shaky was like, I'm ordering a whole box from him. I was like, go ahead, man. He's gonna love it. And if you use this code SAVAGE, guys, you're gonna get exclusive deals on us. That's right, guys. We're giving back to you, the listener. Scan this QR code today. All the information will be listed there with my promo code SAVAGED, and you'll get all exclusive deals on us. Check them out, guys. They are not your typical oily, rundown coffee company. They are fresh to the grind. It's in their promise. It's in their guarantee. Back by their word or your money back. Back to the show. So, Joe, you touched on Rick Walker. Before we go with the Rick Walker, I know you got something with the Monkey Colt, don't you, buddy?
Yeah, number one, dance, monkey, dance. Read that ad text. But you could have been replaced by a parrot there now.
I could have. It's a high possibility.
Bye, Boozy. Bye, Boozy. Bye, Boozy.
Oh, God. Joe, with your bad puns today, I'm telling you. So,
I cannot resist. It doesn't
I'm telling
matter.
You. I'm telling you.
Even on my show, Constitutionalist Politics, no matter how lame the pun, I will not pass it up.
Right. And, I did reach out. Speaking of Monkey Cold, I did reach out to Matt, and I told him, I said, send my good buddy Joe up there in Detroit a package. So hopefully you got it. I don't know if you got it.
I did. Yeah, I have it. I got
what'd you think of it?
And Monkey Cult is also an affiliate quasi-sponsor of Constitutionalist Politics now too.
Yeah, I asked him going back, real quick since we're on this topic. I asked him about the whole background of the circle with the monkey, because apparently, he's gonna get bashing. I know from certain groups, with the political. Oh, it's a cult. You want us to join a coffee cult? What the hell's wrong with you? And I'm like, do you ever get that, Matt? He's like, sometimes, but you learn to just put it through one ear out the other.
People with no fucking sense of humor whatsoever. Exactly.
Yeah. But I'm glad you got the package. I know you're not a coffee guy, but
I got your package right here.
Oh
pal.
God, Joe.
You set up another bad pun. So
I hope the teenagers on accident see that. God. Jakey's like, well, it's a free market platform, right, Jakey? I mean, we could show it. They're showing nudity for God's sakes. I mean, that's not that bad. I mean, God, I seen that show. You're like, you asked me that like a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago. I wasn't aware of that until it fucking popped up on my damn feed. I mean, I'm not like following these perverts or anything, but it does follow up on your feed from time to time, and I'm seeing that. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with these people? But it's just. But let's get back to the show a little bit. We're going off the rails. You mentioned Rick Walker,
as we tend to do. We always rabbit hole opens up, and we always go down it. Yeah.
Shut up for a minute, Joe. Rick Walker. You mentioned him. What's going on with Rick Walker?
Yeah, I'm going to be on Rick Walker's Maverick News tonight. Those of you on Twitter live will understand. Live tonight, Rick Walker Maverick News, Friday the 28th. Again, you're hearing this on Spotify and elsewhere. It was yesterday. Go look for yesterday's Rick Walker show.
Go look for yesterday, because if you're not going to look for yesterday, you're in yesterday's news, right?
Right.
So to speak.
To be past, present, and future news, right? Like I sang earlier for Spotify. Tomorrow, it'll be there.
I tried to call out to Rick Walker, and he's still not answering my calls. I hope Rick's not mad at me. Rick, I'm trying to get on your show because I want to weigh in on some viewpoints. So,
you know what? Before I forget, though,
make sure you put a link in there for me or something.
Are you wearing an Ohio State shirt?
Yeah.
You motherfucker.
What? What's wrong with the Buckeyes, man?
You know I'm in Michigan. The fucking Buckeye shirt? Oh, you fucking bastard.
I did that on purpose to piss you off today. I literally did that because Shaky was like, hey, Michael, Michael, guys, Savage. I like Savage, but I'm just going to say Michael. I have to say Michael because I have books that are coming out. And Shaky was like, Michael, I think you have your old Ohio Buckeyes shirt here in the studio here, so I think you should put that on real quick to just piss off Joe, and then let's see how long it takes Joe to figure out what you're wearing. Now,
I saw it, but I didn't say anything till now.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where the time length came in where you were able to figure that out. So we're looking at what, 55 minutes into the broadcast here?
No, this isn't a Biden thing.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
I noticed it immediately, but since we had a guest, I didn't bring it up till now.
Oh, hold on. Since we don't have a guest, I'm going to go to my chatsters here in X. Guys, I got about 38 of you viewing. I got to get that view count higher. In the chat here, do you believe that Joe here on the show pulled a Biden? Get the comments in. I'll plug them in for you guys. Let's throw Joe under the bus. Get those comments in right now, guys. But here's the thing, Joe. Here's the thing.
No, type in Michael sucks. Michael sucks.
No, you can put that. Go ahead, Chasters. You can put that. Put I suck. Shaky will plug it in for me. Shaky's right on board. He's like, I'm waiting for the comments to come in, Michael. But guys, before we continue with this, tell Rick Walker to reach out to me because I'm trying to reach out to him for certain things, and I want to basically weigh in on a couple of comments because I know you guys are going to be talking about the debate tonight and everything else. So
yeah,
I'd love to get into that.
I made a note.
Yeah,
so
make a note. Put it on a yellow thing.
I've got like 30 notes here. Hopefully, I'll have time to get to it.
Yeah. Well, we're about to close out, guys, but I got to get these plugs in, and then I'll leave some plugs for Joe because Joe's a good buddy of mine, and we got to help him out from time. No, I'm just joking, Joe. I love you, man. But anyway, guys, I
love you too in a very non-gay way.
Yes. Oh God. My points just went up about 5,000 with the LGBT. Probably they're like, I knew he was gay. No, anyway, but Tommy over there from Clueless, he's probably telling me, oh, I knew it, and then you got cousin Saul from Queens. God damn it, Michael, what the hell is wrong?
Hi, Clueless Nation. We know you're still out there. We're not, and again, to be clear to anybody new to the show. We're not saying the entire nation is clueless. That's a jab at another show.
This is the part where we have fun.
No fucking idea.
Yeah, this is the part where we have fun, okay? And I know you're probably listening, Tommy. And I had Tommy on my space going back a week ago, and he's starting to come over, Joe.
No,
not that part. I'm talking about the party part. No, he's starting to understand the Democratic playbook.
How can you not watch what just happened last night?
No, I'm talking about before that. He was in my space, okay, and we were trying to inform him on the policies between the two parties, and he's slowly by coming in to the specter there. Yeah,
Tommy, stop watching CNN and the MSNBCs. Stop watching them. You need, not to say Newsmax is perfect. It's not. OAN is great too. Perfect? No. Fox has moved way left lately. So none of them are, they all have spin. But, again, be honest. They all have spin. I am honest and upfront about my opinions. I try to give you honest analysis at the same time. Like I called out Trump on the golf thing. He looks elitist and aloof.
Yeah, that was a bad thing. I mean, it's great to, kind of brag about that, but I don't know, man. I mean, stick on point, Trump. I mean, save that for your rallies or something.
Yeah. Yeah, but I am absolutely positively voting for Trump. I still hope it's Noam as VP, though I doubt it. I like Burgum.
A lot of people are going to Ramaswamy. They may think that he might be the pick, or Tim Scott. Did you hear that? That he mentioned Tim Scott last night on the debate. God, I hope not. If he just picked Tim Scott, he just sold out to the deep state, Joe.
No.
You don't think so?
Tim Scott is, he's not picking Lindsey Graham. That would be bad. Tim Scott is okay. I like Tim Scott.
He does show a little deep state in him sometimes, Joe.
Yeah.
But I noticed how we got our buddy here in Florida, Nathan Snyder. He's also running for a congressional seat here in the state of Florida. Nathan Snyder, thank you very much. Oh, Elizabeth for president 2028. Maybe. High possibility. I don't know what her intentions are, but that would be interesting.
Well, the reason why Tim Scott is way up the list is the 2 justice reform pieces Trump did that were Scott bills, and Trump signed them. And with all the crime as an issue right now, Tim Scott is the perfect VP for that issue.
Yeah, a high possibility. Guys, I got to get my plugs in. Shaky, tell me, where the hell did the plugs go, Michael? I got to get the plugs in. We kind of went off the rails again.
They're up here. Your plugs are up there. They're fine.
Yeah, that's my plug.
That's why he's got the hat.
I promise, Shaky, I will get the plugs in because we have to close it out. We're getting up to the top of the hour here. Guys, join me this Monday. 1 second, Joe. I have to get them in, buddy. If I don't, I'm going to sound like an idiot. But anyway, Sometimes I do. But anyway, join us this Monday, guys, as I will be on a Canadian talk show up in Canada on the Daniela and Derek show. That's right, guys, by Powered Media this upcoming Monday, guys. So join us on Monday, as that would be a very interesting show. I'm looking forward to going on the Daniela and Derek show. I'm also going to be on the... What are you laughing about, Joe?
Danielle and Derica show.
You know them?
The Double D's show. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're laughing there for a minute. See, every show I mentioned, Joe has probably been on them like maybe once or twice already.
And when I mentioned plugs and pointing to the head, I meant your hair plugs.
Oh. Oh, okay. God. Shaky says he's gonna mute your mic. I gotta get these plugs. We're gonna have to mute you for a minute, there, buddy. But and then join me on an upcoming show with Ray Rostad. He is a entrepreneur, a very, very successful entrepreneur, and he gets into podcasting as well. So join me on that coming in July. That will be July 15th, right? Correct? Yeah, correct, Shaky. July 15th, that show will be. And a lot of great things coming up here on Savage Unfiltered. If you notice that we do have our pre-sale, which is available in ebook format. The soft cover should be available this Saturday or Sunday, guys, this weekend. The ebook is available on Amazon through a Savage store, so you guys can check that out. Just Google me on Amazon, Michael Gardner. My artist page will pop right up. So you want to check that out. Okay. And we do have some books coming up in the near future. I got a book coming out. It's going to be a comedian book, a comical book this August. It's going to be Cousin Saul, The Adventures of an Old Jewish Man from Queens. So bring in my little comedian persona in there with Cousin Saul, guys. If you do pay attention with the spaces I'm in during the week, I do bring in that comical persona of me from time to time. So check that out in August, as well as another book. Yes, guys, I have another book coming out this fall in October. That's going to be entitled Shockcaster. I'm going to get into my background, my intensive background as a podcaster, of how I got into the business through terrestrial radio, my backlot story of that to where I'm at now, and dabbling in the entertainment business as a B-roll actor / movie extra. So check out that. Look out for that in October. Got a lot of great stuff coming out, including new merch. If you guys have been paying attention on SavageArmy.com, we got some new merch on there. Really, really good stuff. So I'm going to yield to that because I know Joe wants something to say, because if we don't let Joe talk, he goes berserk on us. Go ahead.
Yeah, sale as in we want you to buy some stuff, not sailing as in Christopher Cross. Sailing takes me away. But anyway, no, I've got Constitutionalist Politics podcast dropping Saturday or today, if you're hearing us on Spotify, about speculations and what ifs. It's going to be a good show. You're going to want to tune in for that. Buzzsprout is where I'm housed, but you can find me on any of 20 platforms now I'm on, or
20,
YouTube, BitChute, Brighteon, or Rumble for behind-the-scene video. If you prefer to see it video-wise, that's up now already. You could go to @JLeonardDetroit on any of those platforms and find the video there. So, yeah, it was a great day. I got to be Jokester Joe a lot today.
Yeah, we had a great show today with Elizabeth, a female warrior in the American First Agenda, which we need more, guys. We need to build that army, because the reason why I say that is because we need to defeat the radical Democrats in November. We need to secure our nation. Absolutely, Joe.
Yes. And like I said before, it's all and only about getting and holding power. They
Absolutely.
will fucking say anything.
That's the truth.
Do anything for power.
Yeah, that's the truth. That they want the power to manipulate. They want the power to corrupt. They want the power to hold their seat in office, no matter how they do it, how dirty they get. They are willing to do it, and that's the difference you're seeing right now with the Democrats, or like I say, the radical Democrats, because they are showing radicalization in this nation right now, and it's terrible.
Let me be fair, though. Again,
why are you going to be fair, Joe? They don't deserve fairness because they're destroying our nation.
Not with them, but I'm saying Cinos and rhinos. It's not a uniparty. It is deep state, insider, ruling elites, establishment hacks. Cinos, rhinos, and fascocrats. They are the deep state, not the uniparty. I'm a Republican. I'm not like that. I'm fighting. Where the fuck are you? Are you a delegate? If you're not a Republican delegate, don't give me this uniparty bullshit. It says, we the people, in big, bold fucking letters. That means you too get off your ass and do things, not just fucking whine on X all fucking day long.
That's all they do. You see the echo chambers left and right, and Joe called this, he calls it twatter for a reason, because that's what you do. You see the twattering, you see the echo chambers, you see the whining and complaining. Every time I bring this up, Joe, I'm like, if you guys are so concerned on key issues in this nation, become a delegate. Go to a hearing. Oh, I don't have time. You don't have time, but you have time to sit in a 5 to 7, 12-hour space and bitch and moan, but you don't have time to go to a damn delegate meeting, do you?
Yeah.
Do you? You know what you have time to do? You have time to bitch, but you don't have time to bitch your concerns to those elected officials that you put in power in a county, state, or local jurisdiction district. You don't have time to do that. You just clearly showed your persona because you're voting on principles. You're not voting on, I had it backwards. I'm so fired up. You're voting on personalities. You're not voting on principles.
Well,
that's what they're doing.
You're used to having my slogan in your head. # principles, not personalities.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm fired up, Joe. I'm showing true persona here. It's not a scripted show.
Not a shockcaster, as I originally coined it years ago. Act.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you don't have that on today, but that's okay. Joe does sometimes. It's in the
right.
other.
I need my shotcaster shirt. I wanted to wear this for Brian Terry again. R.I.P. brother, Michiganian, killed in Arizona due to Obama-Biden fast and furious illegal gun running with the cartels. Killed by one of those guns. Yeah. R.I.P. brother. I've met his family. Great family. He should be with us today.
Yeah, and I'm going to close it out, guys. If you missed anything we explained here on the show, look for it in the show notes on our audio platforms, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Music, now on Audio Mac, and just about anywhere. Audible, Pandora. I mean, the list goes on, constantly growing. So check out those show notes with the links there, as well as support Elizabeth Helgelien. For Congress, guys, you can go over to our website there, Elizabeth4NV.com. Okay, if you missed that, we will put that in the show notes, guys. Check out some of her issues that she's running on. Check out some of her key points that she's running against, okay, that she is not for, okay? Donate to her. She is a tremendous individual. We need more people like that.
Yeah. You mentioned Audio Mac. Now you put another brain worm in my head.
You're on Audio Mac. Yeah.
My brain works that way. No, now I got that. I forget the name of the guy. He did What Is Love also, but the Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Oh, now I got some Girl Scout or somebody.
Joe, we got to get off the air. We've been on too damn long. All right, guys, keep it savage, not average. Take it easy. Go take care of those Girl Scouts and donate to a good cause, Joe.
Bye-bye.